Good morning, students. A warm welcome to the IT class. In the last session, we have learned plagiarism, software piracy, and types of software piracy. In this session, we will learn about intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights (IPR) are exclusive rights given by the government to intellectuals or owners of intellectual creations. Intellectual creations or creations of the mind are things that you cannot physically touch. For example, music, inventions, movies, cartoons, etc. Intellectual creations can be showcased through a physical medium. For example, when a music composer composes music, it can be recorded on a CD. One can buy the CD to listen to the music, but the song still belongs to the composer. There are mainly three types of IPRs: trademarks, software patents, and copyright. Trademark. A trademark is an identifier of an organization that differentiates its products and services from others. A trademark can be a word or a combination of words, a logo, the packaging of the goods, or even a fragrance. An organization can register its trademark at the regional, national, or international level for wider protection. This is usually valid for about 10 years. Software patent. Software created by individuals or organizations are protected by patents. To get a patent, the developer must disclose all the technical details about his or her innovative software to the public through a patent application. Patent owners have the sole right to make, sell, or distribute the patented software. Software patents usually last for about 20 years. Copyright. Copyright is the legal right given to the originator for a fixed number of years to reproduce, publish, or sell his or her work of authorship as a literary, musical, dramatic, artistic, or architectural work. It can protect works such as books, articles, blogs, etc., and visual arts such as paintings, digital art, photographs, etc., from unauthorized use. Network security. Network security is the protection of files and directories in a computer network against hacking, misuse, and unauthorized changes to the system. For example, an antivirus system. A firewall is a software program or a hardware device designed to protect a network. Firewall stands as a barrier between the computer network and the internet. It secures a network from unauthorized access or communication and monitors the exchange of data between the networks. It safeguards both the software and the hardware components of the network. A firewall filters the information coming from outside your private network or computer system. Any information that is detected as a suspicious is not allowed access to the system. A firewall protects a network from remote logins and spam emails by denying service. A firewall can be of two types: software firewall and hardware firewall. Software firewall. The software firewall can be installed on a computer to protect it from attempts by unauthorized users who try to control or gain access to your computer. In addition to providing protection from different malwares, it also allows users to apply controls for web filtering and file sharing by monitoring internet applications and allowing access to only those approved by the user. Hardware firewall. The hardware firewall is a device that is usually placed between the router and the internet connection. They are widely used in large companies and corporations. The drawback of these firewalls is that they are difficult to configure and update. Data security. Data security means protecting digital data such as that in a database from destructive forces and unauthorized users. Digital data includes usernames, passwords, and addresses that you enter to register on websites. Data encryption and decryption. Data encryption is the translation of data into a secret code. It is the most effective way to achieve data security. To read an encrypted file, you must have access to the secret key or password that enables you to decrypt it. Unencrypted data is called plain text, while encrypted data is referred to as ciphertext. The code used to encrypt plain text is called the cipher. The key is the secret to the cipher known only to authorized people. Let us encrypt and decrypt a sample text using the Sesa cipher, which is one of the earliest known ciphers. In this cipher, each letter of the plain text is shifted by a certain number of places to create the ciphertext. For example, if we apply a shift of 1, A would be replaced by B. B would be replaced by C, and so on. Thus, in this cipher, the key is the number of characters to shift each letter of the alphabet. We can create our own cipher key by choosing the number of places by which we want to shift the letters. To pass an encrypted message from one person to another, it is necessary that both the sender and the receiver have the key to the cipher, so that the sender may encrypt it and the receiver may decrypt it. Website security. The URL that one types in the browser usually starts with either http:// or https:// Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. HTTPS is the secure version of HTTP, the protocol over which data is transferred between your browser and the website that you are connected to. The S at the end of HTTPS stands for secure. It means all communications between your browser and the website are encrypted. HTTPS connections are often used where sensitive information is needed on an information system. For example, making payments on the internet. I hope you all understood intellectual property rights, trademarks, network security, and data security and website security. In the next session, we will be studying about cybercrime, cyber security, and internet safety rules. Thank you.